This is Sam. The company that we have chosen is Constellation Wines, a Fortune 500 company. They have been in business since 1945, founded by Marvin Sands in New York. They have over 9,000 employees and continue to lead in the production and distribution of beer, wines, and spirits. During the 1980s, Constellation acquired Kim Crawford Wines based in New Zealand. Since then, Constellation has imported and distributed Crawford wines by partnering with a reputable distribution center called Blue Ridge Beverages, who have a proven track record for providing dependable logistic and distribution services in the industry.
Freight forward. What does freight forwarded mean? Well, freight forwarding is the process of organizing and transferring commodities across global boundaries on behalf of shippers and both receivers. Warehouse planning, providing cargo insurance, and customs brokerage are just a few tasks in the industry. With shipping, freight forwarding is the strategic planning of logistics for global transportation and products and services. A freight forwarder will be responsible for a variety of activities such as freight rate negotiations, cargo tracking, custom paperwork, and freight aggregation.
Hello, this is Mahir Chauhan, and I am responsible for moving raw materials and converting them into finished products. First of all, raw materials are collected from various parts of California to start the production of wine. Raw materials such as pulp, juice, grapes, sugars, and minerals are transported by using specialized trucks with cold storage facilities so that the quality of the raw materials can be maintained as per the standards. Suppliers and other partners are informed in advance so that they can keep the order of the raw materials ready for pickup, and they can also meet the customer demands. These raw materials are gathered to the production facilities, and once each and every required raw materials are being gathered, the production process starts. So once all the ingredients are gone through the production process, for example, fermentation, pressurizing the wine, and lastly, blending the wine. After this, the wine is prepared, and once the wine is ready to be transported, it is packed into glass bottles, and these glass bottles are packed into boxes. The boxes are prepared as per the customer demands, and this is how the finished products are ready.
Hi, I am Usha. I'm in charge of transporting the products to distribution sites. I am going to explain how we transport the products to distribution sites. We will be required to use special cargo to transport the wine to distribution sites, since wine needs to be in special conditions such as being in temperature control, being protected from sunlight, and much more. Using air freight is biggest advantages to ship the wine because it saves time and much faster comparing to other road transportations. Since we will be transporting from California to Canada, it's better to choose air freight than road transportations. Also, temperature control is most important factor carrying fresh goods we get, and most cargo terminals provide these facilities. Since wine is liquid and needs to be secured very well, we can use ULD containers which can protect from spilling, breaking while transporting. We also should take into consideration of space that's going to be used while transporting wine, and in cargo, we only have limited amount of space. We can use blocking bracing method where it can help secure interior of shipping container to minimize the shifting and moving of the container's cargo. It's important because wine glasses can easily break. We can use wooden beams and ratchet straps to secure the bottle while minimizing the space. These actions can help the wine quality, flavor, and consistency stay fresh always. Now I'm going to talk about how we distribute our wine to consumers. Since our company is wine, we are not allowed to sell directly to consumers. Distributors purchase their wine from wineries but are not allowed to sell directly to consumers. Retailers like restaurants and wine shops purchase wine from wholesale distributors to sell it to consumers but are not allowed to purchase wine directly from wineries. US California, Sonoma Valley, who's our distributor, will send the wine to wine shops and retail stores. Wine will be transported physically for to get to consumer using trucks. Trucks can go anywhere there are roads, including straight to wine stores and wholesale distributors. By contrast, planes, trains, ships are limited as to where they can go. Shipping by truck is also fast relative to other modes. We will also use cross-docking. Our wine will spend little or no time in warehouses. Wine being cross-docked will be delivered via truck to dock at a warehouse where it is unloaded and put it on the trucks to bound for retail outlets. We can use cold chain delivery to keep the temperature of the wine to be constant through transportation. It provides quality standards and give you value and sensitive for the products. So cold chain delivery would be good idea for transporting and distributing to wholesalers and wine shops and they can sell it to consumers.
Now I will talk about coordinating the work of suppliers, manufacturers, vendors, warehouses, transportation partners, wholesalers, and retailers. So, first of all, coordination is the most crucial part when it comes to creating an effective and efficient supply chain. Suppliers and partners are contacted in advance and informed to keep the raw material ready for pickup. And trucks are used to transport all the raw materials to the manufacturers. And these trucks are also advanced trucks with cold storage facility so that the quality of the wine can be maintained. So once the production is completed, the finished goods are moved to warehouses for storage and other purposes. So just like trucks with cold storage facility, the warehouses also have cold storage options so that they can maintain the quality of the wine. And it is important to store the wine in cold temperatures to deliver fresh products to the customers. Road transportation is preferable while transporting the wine to wholesalers and from wholesalers to the warehouses because it is easier to maintain the quality of the wine with high-tech trucks with cold storage technology. Lastly, wholesalers and retailers decide the quantity of the product to be transported to the distribution center to meet the customer demands.
Hi, I'm Cesar. Now I will talk about managing the logistics of product development, the marketing, finance, customer service, business operations, and also as a distribution. Well, in order to succeed in every step of the value chain in our business, we will ensure that the marketing of our wine products are correctly directed to the customers with similar interests and having creative and attractive promotions for the customers. Also, the customer service department will oversee any dispute of the customers or any doubt they have and help to solve any problem to maintain our customers as happy and satisfied as possible. However, there will also be a finance department in charge of any expense or incoming revenue and to ensure that the business is running as smoothly as possible. Lastly, all the distribution process is followed as instructed and we process the wine from our factories to the truck who will deliver the wine at certain temperature which the aluminum truck is capable of maintaining.
So now I will talk about an example of a product moving from start to finish domestically. So we have chosen the company Labatt Beer Toronto to Northland Beverage Limited, Yukon. Pickup time will be 10 a.m. on Tuesday. The name and location of the trucking company is Cherokee Freight Lines, Canada. The pickup date is March 15, 2022, Tuesday. And the time will be 10 a.m. and the route is from Toronto to Yukon. The mileage will be 5,552 kilometers. The delivery time is March 17, 2022, 3 p.m. And the truck will have 3 stops during its journey for refueling purposes.
300 cases outer box OD 15.375 times 13.625 times 12.75 of temperature control pharmaceutical product we choose is ULD, which we're going to transport Pfizer from. Name of the company is Rush Freight Global Inc. and the location of the trucking company is Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. Pickup date is March 15, 2022 and time is at 9 a.m. Route is we're going to choose Canada to China and it's going to take 23,455 kilometers. It's going to reach at March 15, 2022 at the same day at 11 p.m. Since it's not going to stop anywhere except its destination, there will be no refilling stops. It might be surprising, but it takes lesser time than domestically it takes to transport a goods because air cargo is faster and secure and it reaches destination within 1 day.
In freight forwarding, we have several different types of trucks utilized for both logistics and distribution services. Starting off with hot shot, which are low-lying flatbed trailers that can be pulled by specialized pickup trucks. Then we have Conestoga trucks are used to carry aerospace or energy sector equipment. Moving on, we have dry semi-trailer trucks or 18-wheelers, which are attached to a hitch called the fifth wheel. We also have flatbeds, which have no sides or roofs, open concept, used for oversized loads. Moving forward, we have drop deck. They're similar to flatbed, but they have 2 levels instead of 1 level, which helps with high loads so they can travel under bridges safely. Moving on, we have the reefer trucks, which have chillers installed. They're specialized trucks and they carry perishable goods. Moving forward, we have once again, the dry van is an enclosed trailer. Its main purpose is to carry palletized loads. We also have the box or cube used for transporting appliances or furniture. And last but not least, we have a tanker, which pulls cylinder tanks used for transportation, for example, fluids, fuel, or liquids.
Now I will talk about the truck route that we planned. Well, the distance is from California on the Sonoma Valleys in United States to Toronto, Canada. The distance spent in that route is 4,201 kilometers. The time is counting the overnight stops, also as the fuel charging stops, is of 1 day and 19 hours. There is actually one overnight stop of 6 hours break to get sleep and do some personal necessities, and it's in Iowa in the Pilot Free Truck overnight stop services. Well, for the fueling, knowing that we will use a truck with double 150-gallon tanks and we will fill up the tank once, the price of the fueling will be of $1,800. And we will use Cherokee trucks that will have a lightweight aluminum tank with double 150-gallon tanks, also capable of transport 6,700 gallons of dry wine.
Now I will talk about trade between USA and Canada. These two countries have a strong trading relationship as it is important for both the countries to maintain good trade relations as both the countries share common interest, personal connection, largest trading relationship in the world. In 2019, Canada was the largest good export market of the USA, and it was also the third largest supplier of good imports of the US. In 2019, USA exported $292.7 billion worth of goods to Canada, which accounted for almost 18% of overall exports of the USA. The USA exported different type of commodities and goods to Canada, which include vehicles, machinery, electrical machinery, mineral fuels, and other goods. It also exported agricultural products worth of $24 billion to Canada. And lastly, services worth of $67.7 billion were also exported by the USA to Canada. On the other side, as the Canada is the third largest supplier of good imports to the US, the total of $319 billion were imported in the US from Canada, which accounted for almost 12.8% of overall imports of the USA. The imports from Canada include mineral fuels, vehicles, machinery, and plastics. And mineral fuels and vehicles were worth $86 billion and $53 billion, respectively.
A day in the life of a long-haul trucker. What does that actually mean? Well, a day in the life of a truck driver can vary, but often it's all about operating safely and delivering goods to customers on time. It's also making sure to have all cargo secured and making sure all paper documentation is available at customs and borders. Most experienced drivers will refer to truck driving not as a job, but as a lifestyle. Your responsibilities go so much further than just holding the wheel and shifting gears. You see, drivers always want to maximize pay. This requires logging the most miles possible, which ensures the correct remunerations.
Now I'm going to talk about how COVID mandate affected our truckers. If I tell you COVID mandate didn't affect our truckers, it would be a big lie. Because of COVID, government required truckers to have mandatory vaccine. Because of that, many truckers left transport companies, making whole supply chain to pause. Because of strict mandate, companies faced shortage of truckers and which affected shortage in supply chain. US Canadian truckers couldn't cross the border, so all the transportation stopped. It has affected many of us and truckers because of most of the transportation happens through trucks. Many truckers even did protests called Freedom Convoy to lift the vaccine mandate, which also caused supply chain to pause. Many high officials believed unvaccinated truck drivers crossing over border into Canada may pose a risk of transmitting COVID-19 to the general public. Also, federal mandate required that Canadian truckers must be vaccinated if they want to avoid quarantine and other tests. Unvaccinated American big riggers also will be turned back at the border. According to Canadian Trucking Alliance, about 10% of the 120,000 Canadian truckers who cross the border may not be able to work those routes because they have not been vaccinated, which affected many truckers to even lose a job and is still affecting a lot of companies and many consumers since supply chain is paused.
Now I will talk about the convoy. The freedom of the convoy started when the truckers did not allow to cross the borders via United States to Canada, because government believed COVID-19 impact could increase because of truckers crossing the borders. So government put strict mandates to truckers that they must have to be vaccinated to cross the borders, which many truckers who didn't like to take vaccine started the protest, which created everyone to participate in the protest which is called Freedom of Convoy. Protesters occupied the downtown core of Ottawa and stated that they would not leave until COVID-19 restrictions and mandates were replaced. Officials expressed concern about the economic impact of border blockades. The combi impacted small businesses in a number of ways, such as restaurants were not able to send their food out for delivery because roads were blocked by protesters. Uber Eats and DoorDash drivers were refusing the orders of the restaurants which were near to the convoy as they did not want to get stuck in traffic. They also protested in Toronto near Queen's Park during the weekend, due to which it affected the hospital network.